Hi guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. Today I have some really interesting horror stories. I've never done this before and I love horror because it's just interesting, but I can't play horror games. So, you know. So I'm just gonna pull this up on the screen, probably over here, so you guys can just follow along. So first up are Nanny horror stories. Uh, the thing is, I already have to look something up because I don't know what a DB is. So let's do that. Oh. Okay. I had a bad person who worked from home and was secretly following me everywhere that I took the kids. He was in the middle of a nasty divorce and there was a no contact order against his wife. He was paranoid and convinced them that I was going to take the kids to go meet with her somewhere so she could take them. One day, he asked me to take the kids to haircuts at a salon down the street. It was a test, apparently. The girl, NK. Why are there so many different abbreviations? I don't know. I can't do Nick. Okay. Um, the girl got her haircut there, but the boy wanted to go to Sports Clips instead, and it was close by, so I said sure. We drive to Sports Clips, and I park, and we get out, and then I see the guy running across the parking lot at me going full speed. What? Why? Oh my gosh. I can't even read today. He literally almost tackled me. He ripped my purse off my shoulder and dumped everything on the ground and screamed, "Where's your phone? I know you're meeting her here. Let me see your text messages now." Oh my god, dude. Dude was following us the entire time, and when I deviated from the original plan, he could not be reasoned with. I was 18 years old, and I was literally terrified that he was going to harm me physically. I didn't even quit after that incident. Oh! But everything fell apart very quickly from there. He started constantly questioning me about everything with this venomous, accusatory tone. Like his face was red and he would practically spit. Ew, that's gross. He's like a llama. Ugh. And at the start, he was one of those "you're a part of the family, we love you, you can sleep in the guest bedroom whenever you want" type of overly nice people. Then the mask came off. Oh, that's just really sad because, like, you thought he was one kind of person and then he turned out to be something completely different. The problem is, like, you never know when someone actually is being nice and when someone is actually just waiting for an excuse. I mean, that's probably your main form of money right there. I'm sure you probably didn't tell your parents either, which is also another thing that I feel like I would have done when I was 18. The thing is, he's a little bit crazy. I think he's the crazy one in the relationship, and I'm not sure why he has the restraining order. He was in the middle of a nasty divorce, and there was a no contact order against her. Maybe she was also crazy, though. I don't know. That seems very weird. Ugh. That just is sad for the kids, you know? He really shouldn't have done that. It doesn't make any sense why he was, like, sprinting at you. Maybe report that shit. Divorce is crazy. It makes you go crazy. There's a lot of things that really make you paranoid because maybe things in the past. Okay, next one. Another nanny story. This is a long one, but absolutely insane. I was nannying for a 7-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl. At 3 p.m., I went to get them both off the bus from school. The boy got off by himself and I asked him where his sister was. He told me that he hadn't seen her on the bus. So I assumed she had missed the bus and was in the office at school or something. I called the office. The secretary told me that NK had been picked up by her grandfather around lunchtime. First red flag. This was incredibly concerning because all of their grandparents lived out of the county. County or country? Because that's very important to know. I called the parents and they had no idea who could have possibly picked her up. We were all panicking and I called the police because we were 100% certain that she had been kidnapped. The parents both rushed home from work from two extremely high-powered and unleavable jobs. The police came to the house and a few officers also went to the school to get more information. We answered a bunch of questions and they started gathering more officers to start looking for her. About 2 hours passed by and I got a call from a random number on my cell phone. It was a mom of another kid from school. Apparently what happened was the kid got off at the wrong bus stop and went home with another girl she barely knew. Oh, that's weird. After a while, the mom got suspicious of why this random child was at her house. Why she let it go 2 hours without being concerned, I have no idea. And she went through her backpack until she found my number on a note card and called me. Once they got home, we were all so relieved, but we had no idea what happened with the wrong information at the school. Eventually, the police came to the conclusion that the school accidentally recorded the pickup of another girl with the same first name as her as being picked up. It was a huge mistake on the school's part, and they apologized profusely. It was by far the most chaotic day of my life and the most terrified I have ever been. I am so happy everything turned out. Yeah, okay. This is a lot. Okay, the school just seems kind of stupid. How did you just like not write down the last name of each kid as they left with an adult? Like that's one thing where you can really get sued over. A lot of red flags of the school that you're going to, I feel like. At first I thought that the school was just trying to cover their tracks and be like, "Oh yeah, she totally went home with a grandparent." This is just ridiculous. Maybe I'm just expecting too much. I don't know if this is public school, but this sounds like public school. Next one. I had a family with 6 kids. Dad was family law attorney. Mom was paralegal. Oh my gosh, even more interesting. Oh my god, that says studying. How the heck do you get that? Okay, anyway, moving on from that stuff. Mom was paralegal in his office while studying to take the bar. I only took care of the 4 youngest kids. The older 2 were 16 and 17. Why aren't they the ones I were babysitting? The ones I took care of were all boys. They were twins and a 9 and 10-year-old. The twins were sweet. 17 was seldom at home. Told me his dad was a friggin' nut job. Dad was not to be left home with 16 unless someone else was there. I don't like that. She was also the only one Dad was not allowed to discipline. He couldn't ask where she was going. If she asked him for a ride, another kid had to go. 9 threw a pot of boiling water at me because I wasn't fast enough getting the pasta in for mac and cheese. He also opened a cabinet door, slamming the knob into my head intentionally. He continued to try to do this to me to get me to bleed. 10 tried to push me down the stairs like 2 hands on my back pushing. Jeez. I ended up being fired after the stair attempt. Fired? According to the mother, me yelling, "Oh my god," as I grabbed the railing constituted me abusing the children. Ah! No. Mom passed the bar and within 6 months was in a mental hospital. Oh my god. She had a complete breakdown from the severe abuse she suffered as a child. 16 and 17 moved away for college and were no contact with their parents. I haven't had an update for over 20 years though. That entire family is crazy. Okay, so he's an attorney. She was a paralegal. She passed the bar. And then within 6 months, she was in a mental hospital. So, like, this is just a vicious cycle, in other words. And, like, the kids don't seem like they're getting the attention that they need from their parents as well. Which is very, very bad when you're that young. Especially since they're only, like, 7 years old and they're doing this already. It's just kind of crazy. So I'm thinking that this might be because, like, they've been neglected. And no one has really showed them attention and love. The mom and dad should just go to jail. From what I'm reading. This is just bad altogether. And I think there needs to be some kind of intervention with the law. I had worked for a family for 3 years when I got diagnosed with cancer and needed 2 weeks to recover from the surgery. The mom burst into tears when I told her and hugged me. I'm not a hugger with adults. I wonder why. They told me over and over, just consider it a paid vacation. Don't worry about anything. Never got that in writing because I was a fool. 1 week into recovery and no paycheck arrives. I asked what was up and they said something along the lines of, "We thought you knew this was all unpaid." I believe I worked out something with them. Yeah, used up all my PTO and sick time. And I'm sure it was more of a communication issue than them being monsters. But man was trying to sort it out with them while hopped on painkillers and full of rage. An ordeal I have not quite gotten over, apparently. It's sad that we have to get everything in writing. There's a lot of people that out there that will say that they care about you and they'll keep saying, yeah, we'll do this and this and this for you along the way. And then if you don't get that in writing, which you shouldn't have to if they're like just good people, the problem is they'll say something in the moment and they'll think that they mean it, but then later on they'll come back and be like, oh, why did I do that? I'm just going to act as though I didn't say that, you know? Like they'll start gaslighting you. Most of the time, you have to realize this for yourself. And that's the thing, like, unless you actually make that specific mistake, you're not going to remember it. And from then on, you're never going to get it in writing. So this really probably stuck with you for a very, very long time. So, not sure how this fits. We had a night nanny when I was younger. My mom is widowed and worked nights as a nurse. My mom was pretty laid back about things and said she was welcome to eat whatever, just have us in bed by 8 and on the school bus at 7:30. That's fair. Every night she'd arrive with Tupperware to take more than half of the food my mom made. Oh. She'd sneakily do this while we slept and text my mom we ate more food once she left. My mom finally mentioned it to us about why we were eating so much each night when we just had dinner. My sister and I innocently mentioned how Nanny carried out her bag of food each morning. She wasn't fired, but definitely stopped taking half the fridge. Oh, just fire her. I never really understood why she did it. She worked a full-time job and just basically slept over our house and got us on the bus. She took the job to help pay for her wedding. She works a full-time job. She literally works a full-time job, so she's able to probably afford what she's doing. It just seems like she's trying to use you as a free extra 2 meals. If I saw something like that and you lied openly to me, who knows what you're going to lie about in the future? The thing is, you could be lying about what my kids are doing. You could be taking them completely different places than where I want you to. And I would never trust you with my children ever again. So I don't know why. It might be because it's just a long process trying to find the right nanny. That might be why she wasn't fired. She was working nights as a nurse, which makes it very difficult, and she's also widowed, which makes it even more difficult because there's not that other person helping you interview those people. But the fact that she literally just assumed that it was okay to bring her own Tupperware and then just take most of the food is just kind of messed up. She just felt like it was her right to do that. All right, so those were some really bad nanny stories, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be doing some more Reddit stuff. And in the future, I'm probably going to do more horror stories. It doesn't have to be nanny stuff. It might be other things like Bridezilla. It might be just scary ghost stories. Who knows yet? I'm not quite sure. And so I really want to thank everyone for subscribing to me. I never thought I would get past like 10 subscribers, and the fact that today we are at 95. Oh my god, that is just amazing. And I want to thank each and every one of you because you are the ones that made this possible. And I will be coming out with a lot more content. The fact is, I am trying to edit some gameplay, but it's like 5 hours for each session, so it's taking a lot longer than I planned on. So I'm just trying to give you guys some more things to watch while I'm doing that. And I just want to thank you all for tuning in today. And thank you. Bye.